Coming to you live from my apartment, it's Rob Has a Podcast. And now here's the guy who does not have the heat of the bear. I am Rob Cesternino. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our eviction show. A good one tonight. We had our eviction. We had an HOH competition for the very first time outside of a double eviction here tonight. And we have a new HOH to talk about as we have reached the final four here and a lot to talk about. Let's bring in the panel. Of course, very excited to have back with us tonight. It's the great Maggie Morgan. Maggie, how are you?
I'm amazing.
Maggie, going to the bag, tiny bag of Lay's.
This is all they had at the bodega next door, but they're still enjoyable.
Appreciate the commitment.
Great.
Yes.
I'm doing great. Are you kidding me? This was such an exciting Final Five episode. Like, not since Shoeless Austin was evicted in Big Brother 17 have we had an exciting Final Five episode like this, where I was excited at the vote and at the HOH competition.
Yes. Okay. For both. Yeah, we did have an exciting Final Five in BB24. That was an exciting, and we had a live show that night. That was but I don't think we were excited about the outcome of the HOH competition.
I was at that live show.
Yes.
I was at that live show as a fan of the podcast. So you're right. Yeah. That was a really fun.
It was an exciting vote followed by instant regret of, oh yeah, they made the wrong decision.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay. All right. We're excited to have back with us tonight. It's the great AJ Norris. AJ, how are you?
I'm doing so good. I'm glad to be back with y'all. I'm ready to have a good time. And unlike Brittany, I will not be staying up to 2 a.m. Like, I'm glad she made it that far because I would have been in bed before 1.
Yeah, that's late. That's a late night. Okay. And I wouldn't want to do it either. I got to be honest. Okay. All right. And now here is a man who I'm sure will have a lot to say about the TikTok dances we saw here tonight. It's Taran Armstrong. Taran, how are you?
I'm ready to TikTok dance my way to the finale, Rob. I've got a dress picked out and everything.
Wow. Okay. Well, here we are. What are we, 9 days away from the finale of Big Brother 24?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, my God. All right.
Wrap it up.
Yeah. All right. So this is sort of like we're heading into the last normal week. We are going to talk about Taylor, our new HOH, and figure out that 1 week from tonight, we will get down to the final three. The finale of Big Brother is going to be on a Sunday night, I think for the first time ever on a Sunday night. So that'll be very interesting when we get to next week. Tomorrow will be a big day. Of course, live feed update at 11 a.m. Eastern to talk about who's likely to go up on the block. But I think we probably might already know, right?
Well, these noms don't matter too much. So it really could be anything here.
Okay, so we'll see. And then, of course, we'll have BB Q&A coming to you at 3 p.m. Eastern for the patrons of Rob's Podcast, when Taran and I will take your questions live on Friday. So a lot to talk about here tonight, but I guess let's start with our headline at this hour. Taylor, your final four, HOH, and it was close. It was so close because both Taylor and Brittany both had bad answers for the tiebreak question. And it's like, Brittany got it. And it's like, actually, Taylor is closer. So Taylor got it.
The strategy there. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, Taran, but the strategy there is always to go low. I feel like that's how you win most of the time. Those tiebreakers go way low and then the person goes over.
That's always the strategy in Big Brother. When they go high, you go low.
Yeah, now is it Price is Right rules where if you go over, you're out, or is it whoever's closest to the pin? Yeah,
it's if you go over, you're out. So yeah, Brittany was very high. If in terms of those numbers.
Yeah. Okay. So it was close. The competition, which I'm sure we will talk about in greater detail. I was impressed that they got so many answers right. I mean, it seemed like that they talked a little bit after that there was a lot of guessing, but I couldn't believe that they had, 6 and 7 right.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I saw Turner in that competition being like, I don't freaking know. I was like, Toddy, Turner, you're my person right now because I don't know either. I was just jamming along to the dancing. I was like, oh yeah, I was supposed to be paying attention to what Julie was wearing and stuff. But like, I was lost with them. I was like, dang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when Turner was in the lead due to guessing again, I was like, this is the luckiest man in the history of the show. And then he got the next 2 guesses wrong. And I was like, okay, the world has equalized and we're back in non-fantasy land.
Mm-hmm.
Terry, you don't realize how much I wanted Turner to fail upwards. Like, I just wanted to see him succeed by just crap out of luck. And I would have loved that so much. Like that, like nothing screams Turner like lucking his way to a HOH that he should not have won.
All right. So, Taran, what are the ramifications now of Taylor winning the final 4 HOH?
So this is big, obviously. Theoretically, anybody can still go other than Taylor at this point. But the primary thing here is that not only is Taylor guaranteed the final 3, but it's not great for Brittany that she is still vulnerable here. If either Turner or Monty win the veto, Brittany should just basically be out. And then the final 3 will be Taylor, Monty, and Turner. However, if Brittany wins the veto, she will choose between Monty or Turner who to evict. I would assume at this point she would choose to evict Monty for 2 reasons. One is that she now knows that Turner has burned some jury votes. I think she feels better about beating Turner than she does Monty. 2, she knows that Monty and Taylor are closer than Taylor and Turner, and so there's extra incentive for her to vote Monty out. So I would assume, but you can't certainly guarantee it, that Brittany would vote Monty out. If Taylor wins the veto...
That's the interesting one.
That's where things get even more interesting, yes, because Taylor can only choose somebody else to cast the sole vote. She cannot cast the sole vote herself. She can only leave somebody off the block to cast the vote themselves. So if she wants to guarantee that a man leaves, she has to leave Brittany with the sole vote. And as I just described, Brittany likely is going to be thinking, I want to evict Monty. But if Taylor holds her life in her hands and says, I will leave you as the sole vote, I will save your life in this game here at the final 4, only if you promise me that you will evict Turner instead of Monty. Now it gets a little trickier. Does Brittany follow through with that, or does she turn around and stab Taylor in the back again?
Does she Dan Giesling it?
Yes. Okay. And the question that I have after this week, where we just saw Brittany vote to evict Taylor, AJ, did Brittany shoot herself in the foot this week with Taylor? Did she use up all her goodwill?
Like, here's the thing. Taylor has nothing but goodwill to give. Like, Taylor is like so plentiful of goodwill. Like, honestly, Brittany could have like done anything. And I feel like Brittany still is in a good book with Taylor because I think Taylor rightfully so looks at Brittany as the easiest beat. And Taylor is also a very pro-woman person. And she would, when she says to Alyssa, I want a final 2 of women, I believe Taylor believes that full-heartedly, even though that I'm pretty confident Taylor knows that Brittany voted to evict her. Turner already told Taylor and them like, yo, Brittany's pushing me to like vote to keep Alyssa in the house. So like, no matter what Brittany did, I think Taylor's like, listen, Brittany, I'm gonna drag you to the end, whether you want me to or not. Like, full stop.
Yeah. Okay. So we will see as that plays out next week. Maggie, can you put into perspective now? Here we are, maybe 11 weeks later after this week 1 of the season. I guess 10 weeks later now, where we had a week where Taylor looked to be the surefire first person evicted from the house. And now tonight guarantees she will be part of the final 3. And with a, very, better than okay chance, I won't jinx anything.
Don't you do it.
Yeah. To maybe be the winner of the season.
I mean, I am somebody, when I watch this show, I root for the strategist. Whoever the driving strategist of the season is usually the person that I'm voting for. This is the first time I've ever watched a season of Big Brother and just allowed myself to root for the person who I like the most and who, if they won, it would be a storybook ending. Like, you would write a television series about this. Like this, if Taylor goes on to win the season, this is how you write an effective television series. Like I would think that it was scripted and rigged or something, and it would be her life. Like this is what an underdog story, like a true underdog story. I think that Taylor, if she's at the end with anybody, gets definitely, I don't want to jinx anything, but she's got a great shot to get most of the votes, because I think that's the way that everybody else sees it too. It's just absolutely astounding that she's been on the block 5 times. Really only truly in danger, I think 2 of those 5 times, because she had the backing of the leftovers the other times. But still, it's just amazing that she's 5 times on the block on eviction night, and she could be the winner of Big Brother, and not because she was dragged and thrown up and she's next to someone everybody hates. She really did have agency in the game, no matter what way you slice it. It's just incredible.
Like truly, like I feel like in a lot of cases you will see someone be put up on the block 5 times on eviction night, and that's like, oh, that person's a GOAT. That person don't have a chance to win. And I think that just proves like how much agency, how much of a fighter, how much of a good like storyteller Taylor is, that like even though she's been in danger as much as she has been, people still look at her and like, yo, I respect this person. I feel like this person deserves to win. Like, and I don't think like looking at Taylor be like, oh, she's the best character. Like just that. I think like there's a non-zero chance. Like looking at this Final Four, she is the best player left in the game, and I will say that. like looking how she's been moving these past 2 weeks. Like Taylor's been doing her thing. She sees that 750,000. She sees Monty too, but she sees that 750,000 first. Like.
Mm-hmm.
She sees the 750,000 right between Monty's thighs, right through them, right through them, not right through them, guys. Come on, stop it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Was anybody nervous tonight of when we got to first Turner's vote, which could have been 2-0, and then Monty's tiebreak vote? Taran, did any concern? I know you followed this so closely.
This did play out exactly how it was supposed to. Brittany said today to Alyssa that she would be voting for Taylor to leave no matter what, in the hopes that Turner would feel comfortable enough to just go ahead and do it. Turner, on the other hand, was like giving disgusted faces to the cameras after he spoke to Alyssa. So definitely didn't seem like he was going to... Discussing, yeah, for sure, whatever that one is. So he definitely did not seem like he would do it. But of course, you know, you never know. I mean, with something like this, it definitely could have gone another way. It definitely got my heart pumping a little more than it normally would on a regular eviction.
Yeah. I was like, wait, I don't have to worry about this, right? Like you know, because I was not watching it with like you know, biting my fingernails or anything. I'm like, oh, this is like a done deal, right? Right. So yeah, it ultimately ends up working out with Taylor ultimately coming through. I mean, just from a story perspective, to have Alyssa in the Final Four is like, with all due respect to Alyssa, who I'm sure is a lovely person outside of the house, kind of a nothing burger in terms of a character on the season. You
know, what I will say about Alyssa is that in her exit interview with Julie, she was fantastic. I was like, I see how she got on this season. Like, she's sitting there, she's bubbly, she's articulate, she is very, like, she's able to express her opinions, what she's feeling. She's very astute, like, with her observations, what she was talking about. And I was like, I totally see how she got on this season. And I wish that it would have been a little bit more of that within the house. But, you know, I think that she's an overall really sweet girl, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For whatever reason, like it didn't necessarily work, you know, as a character on the show. I feel like they never really had a perspective for her. You know, at best she was, you know, the person with Kyle, and really other than that, even without Kyle, had like no story to speak of, like on her own.
Yeah, I mean, she was left out of the leftovers. She was a leftover to the leftovers, and then you know, for a second there, she was at the helm of the resistance, the after party. That was short lived. And then ultimately gets voted out by her closest ally left in the game for really no good reason. So there's really not much there for her, unfortunately.
She had like a minute in the beginning of the season, like maybe like the first like Sunday night episode. It was kind of like, oh, she's like her and Paloma are they running things? And no, that was short lived. Also,
she needed
like
Paloma.
many things.
Alyssa should have like been like more involved than what she actually was. And this is not anti Alyssa or smack against Alyssa. Like again, she was
the show.
Yeah, but I'm talking about gameplay wise. Like she was in that original group of 6, and then there was like another big alliance that was forming that wanted to bring Alyssa in, and Alyssa wasn't vibing with them. Alyssa wanted to vibe with Kyle, and then Kyle was like, you know what, I'm gonna build something else, but I'm gonna cut you out, Alyssa. And then like it seems like every time Alyssa should have been involved, like someone was like cutting Alyssa out, and when they should have been, Alyssa should have been like a part of the gameplay, at least the alliance and stuff like that. But because of the bad gameplay of other people, Alyssa did not get to have like the experience I believe she would have loved to have.
I think that's a bit of like, though, you know, how the idea in the Big Brother house and sort of greater in the world, like perception is reality. And the players in the game really saw her as, to quote Zingbot, being useless, even though she was not. Like Kyle absolutely did not use her the way that he should have. Turner right now is voting her out for absolutely no reason. She absolutely has value to these people, but for whatever reason, they couldn't see that within her. And I think that just goes to, you know, she just didn't have there's 2 types of people with low social capital. There's Alyssa's and there's Brittany's. And people like Alyssa usually make it far because they have no social capital, but they just kind of hang out. And so people are like, they aren't doing anything, like, let's just drag them along. And then you have people like Brittany who have no social capital, but like really try to do things. And those people usually get kicked out pre-jury. But because Brittany had a Michael to shield her through most of the game, she's here in Final 5, whereas like Alyssa, like Brittany should never have made it to Final 4 in a regular season of Big Brother. This is, I think, one of her 100 times she's playing. This is one of like 5 times she makes it to the Final 4, just because of her perception within the house. And I think that it's very interesting when you look at her and Alyssa as players. I think that there's something to be said about that there.
Yeah.
Yes, but Maggie, answer me this question: which one of them was at the sleepover?
True. Yeah, but that's why Alyssa is the type of person who usually does make it to Final 4, because she's in the mix with them. Like she's socially there, but they just don't value her within the game.
Yep. And maybe in one of the alternate timelines, she sits in the final 2 with Kyle and ultimately wins the game because everybody in the jury hates Kyle's guts. But that, unfortunately for Alyssa, is not this timeline. Taran, what was wild about Alyssa also was that it was always talked about that as a super fan, and she seemed to be the super fan of the show that seemed to like also know nothing about the show.
I mean, she knew about the show. I think that she just wasn't good at it, you know, especially the competitions. I think really, like, when you think about Alyssa's game, I do think that it is often carried by her social game. And the fact that she was knowledgeable enough about the game to play enough of a solid social game to get her to where she was. And she always wanted to follow in the footsteps of Paris from Big Brother Canada 6, a season that they were told to watch in the preseason, according to them. And the thing about Paris is that she won.
She didn't know where it was either. That was the other thing about Alyssa. Didn't know where Paris was.
That's perhaps the problem, is that she's not good at geometry.
She's like, well, Paris, that's Canada, right?
Yeah,
Rob.
somewhere in Canada. And I think the crux of her whole game is that HOH competition here at the Final 5 that she would have won if she had just counted the doors right? Like she did it faster than anyone else. And yet she came in almost last place because of a small, little misstep that cost her the win, and she gets sent out there. She wins that Final 5 HOH. Who knows? It could be a different story.
Tonight was a big episode also because we got to talk about the blooming showmance that is going on in the house this week. And really, the show set it all up. But we like, if you were just a TV viewer, what a blindside this must have been. I mean, I guess if you were a live feed viewer, what a blindside this must have been on Tuesday when this all came to be. But we started to set this up. We got into that Monty really needed some help getting his back moisturized. Then he enjoyed that experience. Okay. And Taylor tells us that Monty's body is starting to really stand out. Feeling a connection. Okay.
Feeling some heat.
Yeah.
Some bear heat.
Yes.
All right. I just have to say,
Yes.
I think Monty might be the corniest guy that I've seen
What?
flirting on Big Brother in a long time.
That would be
How dare you?
splendid.
Yeah.
Bear heat. Somebody said on Twitter that Monty flirts like he's George Washington.
Yeah. He really does like say a lot of like old-timey things in the
That
house.
would be splendid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He says to Taylor, this is later that Taylor says she's gonna play hard to get. Okay. They're in the HOH room, and he says this.
You wanna soak in this bear heat?
Soak in what?
Excuse me? Excuse me, what do you mean?
I love that she did that. That she went, "Are you the bear?"
Yeah, yeah.
The heat of the bear.
Yeah. The heat of the bear.
I love that it took him like he was really like he was like, you wanna soak up in this this bear heat? Like really was like, am I gonna say it? I am gonna say it. I'm the bear.
But then I like how after Taylor second guessed him, he was like, "Wait, should I second guess what I just said? No, I got to double down."
The heat of the bear.
Look, I'm just I think if you were cringing during this moment, just be glad that no snakes were referenced.
Oh my god! Listen, the Taran, it's been 70-something days. Monty single and lonely, Taylor single and lonely.
Mhm.
There's a nice big HOH bedroom, doors closed.
Yes.
No one besides Alyssa can walk in.
Well, it's very cold in the Big Brother house, right, Taran? Famously, very
Mhm.
cold house, and maybe you gotta soak up the heat of the bear.
Look, if I was in that bed, I'd be soaking in all that bear heat.
Okay,
Where else is it gonna go?
the heat of the bear. Sure. Okay. And then
Heat of the bear.
yeah, I mean, we really got like
Mhm.
a lot of like I feel like it's been a minute since we had like night vision makeouts on Big Brother. I mean, I feel like in the very early days, it's like people are on TV and they're hooking up. Like, but I kind of feel like then for like 15 years, I feel like we kind of went away from it. I feel like that we don't really see this very often. I feel like there's often seasons where people are hooking up at night and it never makes the show. But I guess this was such a big deal where we got this. And how about this soundtrack?
Look awfully comfortable.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm kidding.
My apologies.
I don't apologize for being comfortable.
Wow. The harp was
roommate-
working overtime.
My roommate was like, "Not the royalty-free R&B music."
Hmm. Yeah.
Like legit, they're like playing the sexy music, and then like Monty and Taylor just being awkward, like for the first like 15-20 seconds of it. I'm like, oh my god, children, get better or fast forward.
I mean, the key to that scene is the slow crossfades as Monty strips down and hops in bed to that music. I mean, was this an episode of Big Brother, or was this a VHS tape from the 70s that you could have bought on the street? Like, I don't know.
Soaking the heat of the bear.
That's the title.
Yeah, that's the name of it.
The
yeah.
sequel,
Or is
Uncage
it-
the
yeah.
Snake.
Mhm.
All right. I do think that
Yeah.
so that was not anybody who's confused about what Taran keeps referencing. That was what Monty said the night after the heat of the bear. He said that he was going to uncage the snake, which I do think is a million times more corny than the heat of the bear. Because when you start using animals to name your junk, that's when I'm out. I'm out. I can't anymore with that.
The snake is cold-blooded, unlike the bear.
I mean, hopefully not, but.
So this was a wild night all around. It was great.
I was not prepared. I was not emotionally okay with this. Like, full stop. Like, I need an adult supervision. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I did not know they were going to spend so much time on this on the episode. I mean,
I
what
wish
else
they
did
spent
they
more
have
time
for the Thursday episode? Yeah, I guess they're like, all right, go all in on this. Finally,
I wanted diary rooms explaining like exactly like what, like I am like a concerned parent right now, and I want to know the intentions of both of them with regard to this relationship. That's what I want from their diary rooms, and I felt like I did not get that.
You don't want to know the intentions of one of them. I'm gonna say that right now. I'm gonna say that right now.
Right. I thought you were saying you want to know from Taylor. Oh, so what did you think when Monty said, do you want to soak up the heat of the bear?
I mean, I would have been very pleased to hear about that as well.
I feel like she would have just been overall gracious the way she's been all season. She would have made some like sly, sweet comments about it and let it slide. But we all know what she was thinking in the moment because she stopped down and said, "Are you the bear?"
Yeah.
Sorry, Joseph.
Yeah, she said that.
That's tough break.
All around the world, that you could hear the sound of the jailer hearts breaking in that moment.
Listen, you jailer fans, Joseph had his chance, and then he left. Like, he had like an entire summer to do this mess. Now Monty's here, and he's scooping up, baby. That's what you get for being late.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
Mari was on.
Go.
Oh, I was just gonna say Mari was on the update this morning, and she was so funny. She was like, "It's like Twilight all over again." Joseph versus Monty, and it does sort of feel that way if you go on Twitter.
Yeah, I think Joseph's problem was he didn't win an HOH. He could have had the HOH room. Like, he had like a bunch of like, oh, let's be fake showmance, and he got handcuffed. Hey, you snooze, you lose.
That's he was handcuffed to her in her HOH bed for a whole 48 hours.
Hey,
he had a shot. He didn't take it.
Had no heat of the bear. Sorry.
Yeah.
Listen, once you bring animals into it, that's how you get to Taylor's heart.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Jacob was Joseph was a mere cub.
Oh.
With his heat.
That didn't even count as heat. That was like room temp.
Yeah. Yeah. She also said about Monty has the legs of tree trunks.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Everybody here in this situation that we're talking about is incredibly gorgeous. So when you put gorgeous people in a house together, I get a little, this isn't a love show for me, but
I thought she was just making like a Lord of the, like I figured she was watching the Lord of the Rings. She was making an Ent reference. The tree people.
Oh, you're right, Taran. Why didn't I think of that?
So true. But Taran, like, what is the status of this pair in the house? Like, is this just a hookup or has this become more romantic?
Hard to know exactly, because obviously we're not really seeing all of it, and they're hiding it as well.
But there's no like schmoopy talk, right?
I'd say there's a little bit of schmoopy talk. I'd say they're like on the verge of schmoopy talk. They did some in the light of day stand-up makeouts as well. Usually if it's just a hookup, it's like under the cover of darkness and the cover of covers. You don't normally do the full on stand-up makeout.
No standing up hookups. If it's just a hookup, so standing constitutes relationship.
I wouldn't say it constitutes relationship. I would just say that it increases the chances of the relationship.
Interesting.
As you get more vertical, you get closer to the relationship. Yeah.
Maggie, do you co-sign this?
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of tuned out. I went somewhere else there. I can't handle
Just thinking
it
about tree
anymore.
trunks.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that Lord of the Rings reference. I think.
Watch Rings of Power on Amazon Prime.
Are there any bears on that show?
I bet.
Okay.
What about snakes?
All right. So, all right. That's what was going on with Taylor and Monty. But then Alyssa comes in. And how the roles have reversed, AJ? Because now here comes Alyssa into a room like, hey, what's going on in here, kids?
Like, I bet you Alyssa popped in and then was like, ooh, let me go check the box of condoms, see if anything got used. I'm not going to be the only one judging.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, Alyssa walked in and she was like, no floaties? Nah, nothing happened in here.
Alyssa walked in and said, but you were in here for a very long time.
She was like, she was almost like lifting the covers to be like, Turner, where are you?
Where are you? Yeah.
Like, could you not read a room? Like, Alyssa, like, I understand you're going through stuff, but like, baby, it's 2 p.m. They're still in bed together. What do you think is happening?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's like the housekeeper. Like, you know, checkout was at 11, right? Okay. So, I couldn't find it. And then the reaction of Brittany was ridiculous. Like, Brittany, these last 2 nights on the show has just been unhinged.
Honestly, Rob, when they were showing her like crying, doing her makeup, I was like, oh, she seems out of her mind. Like,
yeah,
I've been watching the feeds, so you know that she's been spiraling. But I was trying to be like, okay, what will the casual audience think? And I was like, this is just out of nowhere. And because they're like super cutting it with them talking about Michael's eviction, which is the most dramatic thing to happen all season. So of course they're going to be talking about it. And my friend Laura texted me and said she's giving Kathy Bates and Misery vibes. She's very upset doing her makeup, wanting them to rewrite the book.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that she almost had a breakdown in the shower because 2 people were like up until 8 a.m. Like,
they're up all night. I mean, I have to go to bed.
Have you guys never had a sleepover where you go to bed and then you wake up and your friends are still awake and they've clearly made out and you're really upset about it?
Mm-hmm.
And you go cry in the shower and then you try to vote one out?
Taryn, I forgot about that. I forgot about that time. That makes sense. Now I get it. I
Relatable
get where she's
content.
coming from. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It just seems like that Brittany just ran with this and ultimately got to the point where she was going to vote against Taylor this week over all of this.
For what? Over all of what? Wait, pause. Because Taylor and was talking about how Michael was fighting, how good of a guy Michael is, and you're just over here like, I see you talking bad about me. No, they're praising this other man. Why are you going crazy? Why are you going mental? Like, pause. If he had to jump up and be like, yo, Brittany, go campaign for yourself. Yeah, you should be doing that because you're in danger. You could be voted out. Do that. Like, if you feel stupid, that's because you knew what you did was wrong.
Tara, can I get a fact check? In the episode, Brittany said that when Taylor was upset about Joseph potentially throwing her under the bus, was Brittany there to support Taylor during all of that?
Yes and no, I would say, and in the fact that it's yes and no, I would say no. Like, if she wanted to point to specific instances, she could say, yeah, I had this one conversation where I said, no, this is probably a lie. Joseph probably didn't do this. But there were also other conversations where she was like, screw Joseph for doing this. And so overall, I would say no. I would say that is a generous interpretation of those events.
Also, I watched last week's Double Eviction. Like, as soon as it happened, Taylor was patting Brittany on the back, being like, "It's okay. No, he's just a player, but you're good. We still rock with you. It's okay. Like, listen, Taylor don't need to be with you 24/7. Let her have. She's young. She don't need to be sticking with you. You do your own thing. Well, you did do your own thing. I didn't like what you did, so never mind.
I just also have to say, like, so Brittany didn't want them to be praising Michael, but when she won the veto, she said, "This is for you, Michael."
Or
So
screw you, Michael.
Screw you, Michael. I think that they supercut it. Like, or they like, or they said the bottom third was "This is for you, Michael."
They did write that on the screen. Yes.
So
I heard what I heard.
Okay, so I'm like, so wait, so everybody else has to be mad at Michael because he was mean to you and threw you under the bus, but you are still saying you're winning vetoes for him, but you're also mad at him. I'm confused.
Yeah.
What's the confusing part?
Yeah.
You said elder words correctly.
All right.
Yeah, only Brittany's allowed to talk about Michael. He was hers. You don't.
All right.
Do you not get it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about the live show. Of course, we have Taylor back on the block once again. She's not gonna drag anybody tonight, Taran. That this was like, a nice speech from Taylor. She didn't need to really throw anybody under the bus tonight.
Yeah, she saved all that for the goodbye message this time.
How about this? Alyssa, she loves everybody. And then she shouts out the Rug Shack, Turner's business. AJ, how's that for strategy of let me do a commercial for the one voter that I need tonight?
See, I would have been disrespectful, Rob. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have shouted out a competitor of his. Like, like honestly, I'd be like, listen, you don't get free promo from me. If you want promo, you gotta help me. You gotta save me. I'll be promo next week.
Shout out to the Carpet Camp.
Here's what she should have done. If she really wanted to get into Turner's good graces, she should have ended the speech with, "And I do have something to admit. I ate the half. I ate the muffin. It was me all along." Turner would be, "Oh, now I have to go to the final two with her."
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we got our two votes. Brittany voted to evict Taylor. Turner voted to evict Alyssa. And we had our first tie break of the season where Monty had to break the tie. And he votes to evict Alyssa.
Yep.
And Alyssa leaves the house. Not as dramatic as Michael leaving. Didn't say, "I have one thing to tell you." And we had our segment with Julie that we talked about a little bit at the opening of the show. This was fun, Alyssa.
We really like ran the gamut here in terms of the votes, right? Brittany votes the correct way for her game for the wrong reasons. Turner votes the absolute wrong way for his game for the wrong reasons. And Monty votes the correct way for his game for the correct reasons. So we captured everything.
I don't know, Taran. Turner's voted for spite, and I think spite is always the right reason. Like, like after that conversation with Alyssa, he was like, you don't threaten me. And I was like, you know what? Yes. I don't care.
She said she won't be his friend anymore, AJ.
Oh, really? Let me tell you what I think about our friendship. Like that. Like, honestly, I pause. I feel like Turner did a terrible job, a crap job with Alyssa. Full stop. Like, just tell Alyssa. Like, if she's your best friend in the house, like, give her that. Like, if anything, if you're not going to be able to save her, at least tell her. But the moment you start to threaten me, like, listen, Alyssa, you also would have been on my bad side. I don't.
Yeah. To make this clear, for those that were not paying attention to the feeds, not only did Turner, vote Alyssa out when he absolutely should have voted for her to stay, but he also was lying to her about his vote all the way up until the actual vote, swearing up and down that he would never vote her out, even after she knew that he was planning to vote her out. And she was like, "You just tell me." And he was like, "What do you mean? No, I'm not going to do it." just refused to open up to her or own up to her what he was planning to do in any way.
Well, why?
All the way until the eviction. Why?
Mhm.
Because he didn't want to have to deal with her. He was very annoyed.
He's a chicken.
He's a punk.
because he wanted to make what is perhaps one of the worst Final Five decisions in the history of the show. Is why he wanted to do it.
Okay. So we got to see Alyssa with Julie. So any highlights with Julie with Alyssa? Again, she was, in good spirits overall.
Overall,
Yeah, she stands by her decision to vote out her showmance, which is good call.
Correct decision.
Good call. But what I do want to know is this okay, where there's gonna be a week in the jury house? Like, are we gonna see a segment where Kyle and Alyssa reconnect in the jury house?
Not enough footage.
Okay.
Taran lays down the hammer.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Now, what do you just think that that's not part of the story they're trying to tell with Kyle?
No, Rob, it just won't last long enough.
Oh, okay. They won't be able to capture anything in time. Yeah.
Rob, they don't have 24-hour cameras the same way that they do in the regular house. They get whole camera people.
But if they're a
By the time they get there
again, I mean, we heard about Kat and Nick Macaroni in the jury house as an item.
What a time that was. Oh my goodness. I almost forgot about that one.
Mm-hmm. So
I
anything
didn't
could happen. But I don't know if we're going to get another jury. I guess we'll probably see the jury again next Thursday. No jury segment tonight. And then that'll be it. They also advertised that the entire cookout is going to be on the show this Thursday night.
Yeah.
So okay, a lot to get to in that Thursday episode. So really only 2 more regular episodes of Big Brother before the finale. That there will be a Sunday night episode, then that Thursday night episode. Actually, is there? And there might be recap of the recap on. Is there a Friday night episode also, Taran?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we'll get to the finale on Sunday. So that's a little bit of what's coming up next week. Let's talk about the goodbye messages. Okay. Goodbye messages. Monty says he was looking forward to having her in the final 4, but things just didn't go according to plan.
Yeah. Where's his bear energy in this goodbye message? I need more bear, less. Oh, sorry. What can I do?
No, Taran. He gave possum energy. He was
Yeah.
like, it was so sad. I was like, dang.
Yeah. Man, if only I could have voted to keep you.
Like why not? Right? Why not just say like what is real, which is like at this point in the game, you leaving gives me the best chance to make it to final 2 because Taylor will be going for Turner will be going for Taylor, and it puts me in the best position moving forward. It proves to her that even if she doesn't plan to vote for him, she at least goes to jury saying, oh, he said he voted me out because of this strategic reason, and now the jury is feeling like he did something strategically. She goes to the jury and she's like, yeah, he said he wished that I could stay, but then things went wrong. And they're like, oh, okay, so what is he doing? I guess he's just still trying to get Brittany out. Like what is he thinking strategically? We don't know. He's not telling us.
Nobody knows. Okay. Brittany said she's so sorry, but she's going to keep fighting for Alyssa in the house. Maggie, is this an effective thing to say in your jury speech that you're doing it for the person that just got voted out?
I don't know. I thought Brittany was laying it on a little thick, if I do say so myself, whispering in her ear as she leaves, like, I did it. I was the vote. Like, okay, Brittany, we know, you know. I do think, if Brittany is sitting next to either of those boys, she definitely has Alyssa's vote. And even tonight, my roommate and I were counting votes if it's Turner and Brittany, and we think maybe Brittany could pull it out if she's next to Turner now that Alyssa is really upset with him. I think that it could go, either way. So, I think that the fact that she really worked hard to lock up Alyssa's vote is good for her.
It would be very tough to get to that point, though, like barring then Brittany being the decider after Taylor wins the veto, and then Brittany betraying Taylor to then vote out Monty.
Or Brittany
Then
winning the veto.
I guess so,
Yeah.
yes.
At that point, though, all she has to do is say, like, hey, Taylor wants me to vote you out and take Monty. If I keep you, can we go to final 2? That's all it takes.
Yep. And it's not the most impossible thing in the world. Although I don't think we're giving Brittany enough credit for the 4D chess move of basically putting up a billboard after that veto competition. This is for you, Michael. And what she's saying to Alyssa is, that could be you. I could be saying your name. The next time I win a competition, I could be saying, this is for you, Alyssa.
Smart. That's smart. Okay. All right. Taylor is going to out that the guys made the gentleman's agreement to Alyssa. Terrence, does this change anything for Alyssa?
I don't think it changes anything. It's basically what Brittany has already told her, because Brittany told her that Turner made a deal with Monty to vote her out. But I love what Taylor does here. I love the language that she uses. It's language that is very effective with particularly Alyssa. Saying it was a gentleman's agreement just sends shivers down your spine. It's so gross, right? And
not as bad as come soak in the heat of the bear.
Listen, different kind of shivers.
Listen, if we're talking about cringy things, I think it's firmly Uncaged the Snake, number 1.
Yes.
Heat the Bear, number 2. Gentleman's Agreement, fully in 3rd.
I want to count on how many times Maggie has referenced the snake and how many times I've referenced the snake, because I feel like we're at least neck and neck at this point.
I was disturbed.
Snake
by
is
that
a lot
one.
of neck.
I
Yeah.
had to get it out. The snake is not in the grass for me on this one. I can't deal with it.
I will. I won't. I'll actually.
Put an end to this, Rob.
Yeah.
No, I think that this was brilliant, because it not only puts this language in Alyssa's head, a gentleman's agreement. How gross. But it also proves and shows that Taylor is aware of it, and that Taylor is planning to take them out and go to the end with a woman, really stirring up those feelings that Alyssa has talked about since day 1 in this game, which is that she wants 2 women in the end. She wants a woman to win the game. Great stuff there. In addition to that, again, she is doing what I said Monty should do. Prove that she's thinking strategically in the game. Prove that she has a plan. When Alyssa goes to the jury and says, hey, Taylor plans to take out those guys, even if she fails at it, they're going to be looking at the game as, well, Taylor intends to take out the guys. And so the guys are needing to win if they want to stay in the game. It's I think really, really well done. If Taylor gets there with Brittany, obviously she wins. I think this gives her a little bit more of a leg up on Monty if she gets there with Monty, which is one of the more likely scenarios at this point as well. So good stuff. Very good stuff.
It's giving a little bit, Taran, with the description that you just gave. It's giving a little bit of like Sandra in Heroes Villains and Survivor. How like she's like, I'm trying to get this guy out. I'm trying to get Russell out. Like it's not working, but I'm really trying, which the jury ultimately rewarded her for. And I feel like that's sort of the message that Taylor is sending. You're right. Even if she fails, like it's like, well, that was still her intended plan.
And if she does get Monty to cut Turner for her, it makes it seem like she strategically snuck in there and manipulated Monty to betray his deal, even though she was willing to cut Monty, which is a great look for her.
Like it's not about like how effective you actually are in your plans and activities in this game. It's about how people interpret what you're doing and how effective you are to like motivating them. Like we saw this season, like Kyle was extremely effective at the things he was doing, but the way he made people feel about what he was doing was a big turnoff to the point like before he left, he was like lose to anyone in the game. Brittany for a period of time was effective at what she was doing, but because of how she made people feel and when they talk about it, they was like, you know what? I'm not a fan of Brittany, and Brittany like has an extremely low chance of winning, and probably there's a non-zero chance she would have won out tonight had she not won veto. So like Taylor, like just like stirring up these positive emotions, and I think that's just part of Taylor's character. Like even if she fails at her goal, the fact that she is like being like, I am an active player and what I'm doing, you might not like it at the time, but like you will be rooting for me on what I'm doing is like very good. And I do think Taylor has the best chance of winning it. Sitting next to anybody, full stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally, Turner gave his goodbye message. I thought this was so annoying. He says that basically, this was so hard. Basically, here's Turner.
But at the end of the day, if I'm not going to vote with the House this close to the end, it will look extremely bad for me.
It would look so bad if he did not vote with the House. No other person voted with Turner here.
Yeah.
He forced a tie with his one vote.
Yeah, there was one house, and he went in the other direction.
Yes, yes.
I think, and you know, this obviously it's very difficult to read juries, but I think this is going to play very poorly to the jury. I think that when Alyssa heads to the jury and she says, "Yep, I was evicted," they're going to be like, "Oh no, who were you up against?" "I was up against Taylor." "Oh, so Turner voted Taylor out and Brittany voted you out, and Monty broke the tie and kept Taylor." She's gonna go, "No, actually," and they're gonna be like, "What? Turner voted you out too? Oh, maybe he just went with the House because he knew." No. Brittany voted for me to stay, and Turner prevented me from staying by voting me out. They're gonna be like, "Excuse me? Why?" Because he needed to go with the House.
Like, so stupid. Like, genuinely so dumb. Like, Turner should have just kept it about, like, full stop. Like, him trying to, like, play nice or, like, be like, oh, it's not my fault. Like, I need to go to the House. It's, like, it's a punk move. It's weak sauce, and no one likes it at the end of the day. Like, legit, he, like, destroys his entire chances. Like, here's the thing. Here's the issue, right? I feel like the truth would have been better. Like, him being honest would have been better in his commodity medicine. Like, yo, listen, I have a final two with Monty, and I rock with them. Like, listen, I love our friendship, but, like, this is my plan. This is my game plan. Like, we're going to the end together. Because he has no intention of working with Brittany in this game, and I think he preferred not to sit next to Taylor at the end of the game. So, but Alyssa is willing here to throw her game away for him. So why would you vote for her? Why would you vote her out? Like the Monty excuse, final two is a stupid one, but at least it makes logical sense. Going with House makes zero sense, none at all. Like you're not making no one feel happy. Maybe yourself in the moment, but you won't be happy when you lose that 750.
I mean, Turner is used to living in a van. He doesn't know what to do in the house.
You know, he did take a shower with a water bottle. I forgot. Like that is the guy we're talking about.
Let's talk about this HOH competition because this was a blindside. Get the blindside butter beans ready because was not expecting this. So I thought we were getting ready for maybe what the bleep here tonight for this Final Four HOH. And then when Julie says we're going to do an HOH competition that's all about me, okay. And then we watched Julie do a seemingly endless TikTok dance. And I guess, Taran, in the beginning of the season, like, wasn't there like a video that like, oh, this is a clue for the season?
What was it?
That was like Julie dancing. I don't know. Was this all leading up to this?
Well, she did post on Instagram today. She said, what does my wardrobe through the season have to do with tonight's HOH competition? And apparently it was that she was going to TikTok dance in all of them. That's She's really hyping up this comp. Julie, I don't know if she knows. She can just go on TikTok.
Yeah.
I thought
production. Yes, Maggie.
I thought an interesting competition, if they did want to use something like this, I thought that they were going to show photos of Julie and be like, who was on the block this night? You know, like when Julie was on, like, I was like, oh, this is actually going to be fascinating. Like, I wonder if people can remember what Julie looked like on specific nights. Like, I was like, maybe this will give Taylor a leg up because she was on the block for all of these and had like, you know, was like really like, okay, am I going to meet Julie? You know? So I was like, oh, this is fascinating. It would really be kind of crapshooty, but also like so specific on what you need to be studying. And then they gave us this video, a season in the making.
Maggie,
this video.
I'm not going to lie to you. I love this. I love this with all my heart. Like every second of it, from its start to finish, I was like, I'm here for everything. All the cringy TikTok dances, all the outfit changes, the back transitions, like legit need to learn from people on TikTok because those transitions were not it. Like I loved every second of it and the cringiness. I was like here for it. I wanted this every season.
I also I will say I prefer this style to the studying style of comp. The studying is too easily gameable for the people that know the show and to study. If this had been a difficult competition about like tracking Julie's dresses or something along those lines, then I think there would have been a heavy advantage for somebody like Brittany who has been studying. And the fact that it's really just like equal opportunity for everyone. Everyone watches the video right now. I like that. I feel like that's a better kind of competition in general.
Yeah, I thought it was very fun. I also thought it was an interesting idea for a competition because, every house goes, "Oh, Julie, you look so beautiful tonight." It's like, all right, well, were you paying attention to all the outfits along the way? It was a little bit like, I feel like that on The Amazing Race, that also, again, this would have been probably more like what Maggie was saying. Like at the end of the season, it's like, all right, well, who was the greeter on the mat each time? And, putting that together. But this was, they filmed this with all the different outfits, but you didn't have to answer that many questions about the outfits. It was literally about what was happening in the video.
I mean, just think about it. If Jasmine had been competing in this competition, she would have just been like air fried chicken wings. Boom, purple. Done. She would have had food for every dress. She would have crushed this competition.
Yeah. Which outfit did Jasmine say that Julie looks better than a fresh batch of cornbread? Okay. So we got these questions, although I was just like in awe of what was going on. I did find it almost impossible to get what was going on.
Yeah,
Yes, Maggie.
I also just wanted to say, like, you were like, this was a seemingly endless video, and it was so long that I would have just been like, if I had been watching, I probably would have been like, okay, I gotta follow. And then like a quarter of the way through, I probably just would have started like dancing along because I would have been like, there's no chance. How can I possibly remember all 11 outfits and like the dance moves she was doing? I was like, there's just no way.
Pretty sure that's what Turner did.
Yeah.
Exactly. And honestly, I don't even blame him. That was really hard.
Yeah. But everybody did so well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, granted, I think Turner got at least 2 or 3 complete guesses out of the 5 answers that he gave. I think he only knew like 2 of them at best. I think Brittany guessed on a couple. She mentioned that on the first one, she thought it was the 3 snaps and not the 1 snap, but either way, it was still false. So that worked out. And so, but yeah, Brittany and Taylor definitely seemed like they were not guessing as much. I think they did a very good job.
Okay.
But I love the exasperation for Turner. Like, what was I supposed to do here? Like, what was this for? Why'd y'all do this to me?
He did well. I mean, he only lost by 1 point ultimately. We talked about this. It came down to the tiebreaker. It was ultimately how long was the snooze fest competition? 1,400 seconds. I mean, too bad that if Alyssa could have got into the tiebreaker, if there was a counting seconds competition.
Robert.
Yeah, that's that she missed out on it, huh, Rob?
Yeah.
Just by a hair, just by like 10 seconds.
Just by a little bit. I mean, Taran, it's almost like in the stay or fold. It's like, okay, this was 10 seconds. How long was this other thing?
Yeah. It's a lot of them. I mean, you could really, it's a lot.
Julie's TikTok dance was 9 million seconds. It felt like.
It did. It really did. I will say, I think it's interesting the difference in how these competitions are formed, because some of the quiz competitions are elimination style, right? You get one answer wrong, you're out. If this quiz competition had been that kind of competition, Turner wins.
The first question. Yeah,
he answered correctly while the other 2 got 1 wrong in each of the first 2 questions. But because it's a point style competition, Turner is in last place. That is how Big Brother works with these competitions. Why it's so difficult if you're a Michael to win out, because just the rules of the competition could completely change the outcome.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. As someone who is a part of the camp of Taylor or Bust this season, I was rooting like firmly against Brittany. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, because I felt like if Turner had the sole vote to evict, I was like, man, then Taylor could go home at 4. But like with Turner winning, I was like, there's no way Monty or Brittany votes out Taylor over the other. So I was like very happy. Or Taylor winning, of course. I would love Taylor win, so I'm happy that Taylor won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brittany winning was worst case scenario for Taylor for sure.
Yeah. And so we get Taylor as the HOH. We check back in on the house guests and
The house guest.
and we Taylor, will get to wear that finale dress because she's going to the finale from one fashion girl to another.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. She's literally mercilessly bullied for this dumb finale dress reason during the first week that she was talking about that's what she's going to wear on finale night. And now she's going to get to wear that gorgeous bedazzled jumpsuit that her and Kyle waltzed to in the kitchen that made everybody so mad. She's going to get to sit on finale night in that outfit. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. And how hilarious will it be if we also get to see Turner's finale outfit, which will be what, like shorts and a t-shirt?
Probably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I bet you Taylor will help him come up with something good.
Mm-hmm. Was he on the block at all this season on eviction night? Did we ever get to see him like wear nice clothes? Okay.
No.
We'll find
I do
out.
think so. I think that Taylor being on the block for eviction night 5 times now, if she were to win the game, I think that is the most amount of times that somebody has been on the block for the vote and gone on to win the game. More even than I think Dr. Will.
Her story's too good. I don't know why people aren't talking about this in the house.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think that they see it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I also think that they're like, well, everybody hated her. We were the ones who were nice to her. But then you get these jury segments where Indy and Jasmine are like, it's amazing that Taylor's still there. Like, these people who really were not into her have super come around on her just because the story is absolutely astounding.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think when you look at the people in the house, I think first off, I don't think Turner like even sees Taylor at the end. Like in terms of mine, it's him and Monty at the end. Final 2 full stop. I think Brittany is just trying to still rewire her game after Michael left. Like she was like, you know what, my game was for him, and now that he's gone, like what do I do now? So she's still trying to figure out if she's trying to get to the end and maybe win, I guess. So I think it's like Taylor's there, but that's not the most pressing issue in like a lot of these people's heads. But to go back to Turner real quick, I think the fact that he has not been on the block for eviction also like helps explains why he's been so bad at this thing with Alyssa, because Taylor's been up 5 times. Alyssa's been up like what 3-4 times on eviction as well. Like I just think he doesn't understand like how it feels to be in that position asking for votes, and that's like part of the reason why he's just like, yo, Alyssa, stop bugging me and asking to get over it. Like I think had he like been on eviction one night, like he might have like handled Alyssa better than he did.
So he was only on the block during Dire Fest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what was he? And I feel like that did they do the veto? Like he knew very quickly after that he was coming back
he was
down.
Blindsided by the fact that he came down, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So but he didn't have to make it to Thursday, and so never sat there for the vote.
And in Dire Fest, there was like not really a question that he would go home over Joseph, like full stop. Like Kyle and Alyssa and Terrence all wanted Joseph out. Like Turner was not like sweating, even before he was taken down.
So we had our eviction earlier tonight. Taran, there's a lot of chatter here in the live chat that the house guests have to do nominations tonight. Can you confirm that?
Yes, that is what I am reading as well.
Okay. Is that unprecedented?
I don't think so. It's Final 4. Nominations don't really matter. They might be doing the veto a day early, or maybe they just want to get this out of the way. They don't want to work tomorrow.
Is that possible that we could get the veto ceremony in? Like we did the HOH tonight. Could the Sunday night competition be the veto?
I don't think that's likely. I think that Thursday is probably still going to be the live veto eviction.
Julie says Sunday we have veto and nominations.
Okay. Oh, and nominations. But are we getting the ceremony on Sunday? I think is the question.
Okay,
Oh.
so Sam is saying that POV comp tomorrow to be shown on Sunday. So
Okay.
then we'll have the ceremony.
Mm.
I guess they'll have a live power veto ceremony then in the live show.
Right.
That probably
So-
makes
so-
sense that the
yeah.
cookout is going to be there on Thursday because they'll need content.
They'll need
Right.
content. We'll see the jury house as well. So all right, so this should be by tomorrow we might know quite a bit as to how this is going to shake out for the week.
Plus, I'm not going to lie to you. I know the finale's right around the corner, but this Eviction on Thursday for Final Four, that's so long. Oh my gosh. What are they doing?
Mhm.
What was this planning? Bad planning.
Yeah, it's going to be like a very long week. Might be some slow update days coming up this week, but don't forget last year the Final Four Eviction did prove very eventful.
This is very true. I don't know if we're gonna get there this year. We'll see, but definitely could put some halts to the momentum here. As if Sunday is the veto competition, and then Thursday is like literally just waiting until the vote that probably everyone already knows is coming, and then Friday is the recap of the recap. Like it's really gonna be like Sunday to the next Sunday before there's another real episode to watch. So. Could be a little slow, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I think they'll have enough stuff on the shows. Like I don't know if like we'll get to like Kylan smelling the tortillas level of the boring on the shows. No, actually that was like very interesting.
That was wild. What do you mean?
Yeah, but I do think that maybe we might have some might be hearing Taran talk about bears and snakes a lot on the updates this week.
Oh no.
Yeah,
maybe we'll see.
Oh my.
Okay, all right. Anything else from Big Brother tonight? I think we have a couple of questions here. Okay. How about this? Megan wants to know, Taran, do you think Alyssa and Turner will be friends again?
I don't know. It depends on which Megan this is. Maybe you can answer this for me. But will Alyssa and Turner be friends again? Probably.
I don't think she holds a grudge. I mean, how many times did she get back together with Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, it's a physical distance is the biggest decider. Like, if people live near each other, they're more likely to be friends, no matter what their relationship was in the show. And if they go to events, are they people that tend to go to events? Then they'll see each other again. They'll probably hash it out and be fine.
I feel like Alyssa's going to be a big event girl, but Kyle will not be a big guy.
Yeah, I don't know how often Turner is going to the events, but I think they'll be fine.
Look, the guy lives in a van. Okay, he's mobile. That he could get down to Florida. That's where they have a lot of events. I'm telling you, Turner is a guy you do want to be hanging out with when you go to functions. So I think that they will reconcile. Pink Elastics says, does Brittany get Alyssa's vote because of this move?
Yes, I think so. I think the toughest person is Taylor to beat out. I think that she would be inclined to vote Brittany over Taylor, but she gets the jury house and it's very pro Taylor. I see her hopping on that train.
Okay.
Like, I don't think she's going to be like the sole vote for Brittany necessarily.
All right. There's a question from Miriam. Does anyone in the house know about Monte yet?
No.
Okay. Does anybody suspect anything? I mean, we saw Brittany a little bit in the shower.
Like you could add it up. You can put it together that there's something happening between those two, but I don't think they're like putting it together right now.
Okay. How about Boston Girl wants to know any thoughts on what the veto comp will be? Taran, any ideas on where they go for Final Four veto?
So the last few years, it has been some combination of a day's competition with some kind of skill. So I believe last year it was the sort of the seesaw with the balls, but it was also they were answering questions about days. And then, the year before that, I think it was like the hamster wheel where they had to get to a certain amount of days by running in the hamster wheel. And the year before that, I think it was the slingshot, where they had to slingshot a thing into the right answer for days. So usually very easy day questions that everyone already knows, and then some kind of skill to get to that answer, give that answer.
I forgot about the seesaw ball competition until you just said it, Taran. I think that one would be my worst nightmare. Oh my gosh, so tedious. There's a lot of competition. Anything spinning, I couldn't do, but oh my gosh, that balls one, so tedious. Oh goodness.
I mean, hey, put a ball in Monty's hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
All
That's
right.
the end of it.
Okay, cool.
Moving on. All right. Anything else from Big Brother at this hour before we start to wrap things up?
I think I need to reiterate it because it's a very obvious point to make. It's not like there's a big debate around this, but I think it just needs to be said again. Turner's decision to evict Alyssa is perhaps one of maybe second place worst decisions of all time made at the final five. I think Marcellus probably has the number one spot there. But after Marcellus, I think it's probably not close. This was a really, really terrible decision from every angle, and completely has likely cost him any chance of winning the game.
Okay, I do want to say though, I think Turner is locked safe here with Taylor winning HOH to go to the final three. I think if Brittany is the one who votes, she's taking out Monty because Taylor's won HOH now. I think he's punched his ticket. I think he's safer than Brittany or Monty. No, you disagree?
Oh, as we discussed, I think there's I think that Brittany would lean toward evicting Monty, but I don't think it's a guarantee at this point. I think even beyond that though, I don't think he's the most likely, or sorry, I don't think that he is the this outcome is still not great for him because he's still going to potentially follow through with evicting Brittany. And so, I think that yes, he could luck out with the best possible combination of winners here, where him not winning the HOH and then him not winning the veto, and Taylor specifically winning the HOH and Brittany specifically winning the veto and Brittany specifically evicting Monty because Monty also screwed up bad that week, might give him a final three scenario where maybe if he wins and then finally makes a correct decision and takes Brittany, maybe he can still win the game. But the fact that he needs all of that to play out instead of just evicting Taylor and being the most likely person to win the game from there is wild when it was right in front of him.
I can genuinely see any of the other three folks going home this week. Full stop. I don't think anyone besides Taylor has their finale ticket punch right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's an exciting Final Four. That's very exciting. You like to see anyone goes.
Pretty ass game move from Turner tonight. I'll say. Okay. Here's what's coming up tomorrow. Taran will be back on a Friday morning, 11 a.m. to talk about what's happening on the live feeds. Maybe we'll get nominations if they are indeed happening tonight. And then we'll talk about it 3 p.m. Eastern time. Any chance that we could have the veto yet, or no? That's too early.
Probably too early. Probably.
Yeah. Okay. So we will talk about what's happening at this hour. Earlier today, I had the best time talking with baby boy Bryce Isaiah for Issa. Look, Bryce went through all 18. I mean, he's incredible at what he does. He's looking at the poses, looking at the looks, looking at the fits, and he is ready to tell us who is ready for Survivor 43. Check that out. Podcast and video up at robhasawebsite.com. We've got coming up on Monday night the Survivor 43 preseason draft. We've had a lot of fun with this the last couple of seasons. Join us live on Monday night. I believe that's at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time for that one. Okay. Then after that, oh boy, the challenge, Taran, I retweeted you today that you said, yeah, the challenge somehow has made Big Brother 24 look like a well-oiled machine as far as production goes.
Truly. Yeah. I watched the, no spoilers, but I watched the finale today, and that was the worst produced episode of reality television I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I will say I listened to the podcast, Brian and Allie's podcast today, and I do get a shout out from Allie Lasher because I angrily texted her in the middle of the episode.
Yeah, I will say that your text seemed better received than the text Allie got from Jordan Kalish in the podcast.
Yes, sure, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that assessment. Yeah,
I think
but
I think your text got an answer, whereas Jordan Kalish's text said, "Jordan, watch the show. Leave me alone."
You should listen to the podcast. It's very good. It's very good.
Okay. We've got exit interviews with a handful of the challenge finalists. That is up at robisawebsite.com. Brian Cohen and I spoke with 6 different people that were on the challenge, and you could check those exit interviews out. People dropped off the finale of the interview circuit just like it was the real show. So you can check that out up at robswebsite.com. Also, Amazing Race 34 is around the corner. That's going to premiere on Wednesday night as well. We've got a preview of Amazing Race up with Jessica Leese and Mike Bloom. Check that out as well at robswebsite.com. And of course, we've got so much great stuff. I told you about the Q&A. We've got a season finale of The Slop coming up on Monday. And of course, becoming a patron, you get all the news about when the live shows are happening and much more. That's at robisawebsite.com/patron. And of course, make sure you subscribe to Rob as a podcast. Go to robisawebsite.com/subscribe for all of our podcast feeds. robisawebsite.com/subscribe. Okay. Maggie, what's coming up for you?
Yeah, just finishing out Big Brother. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at mlmorgan_. That's where I hang out if you're interested in following. Yeah.
Yep. Maggie makes great TikToks.
Thanks, Rob. I don't make as many as I feel like I should, but I only do it when inspiration strikes. You know?
Yes. Don't force it. Don't force it.
Try.
All right. Okay. All right, Maggie, great job tonight. AJ, what is going on with you?
Having fun watching this season of Big Brother. You can find me on Twitter at @Norris. That's where I retweet any podcasts I am doing. 2 Can't Keep a Secret. Me and the great Jay, we're talking about season 2. It is off to a start, but we're still having fun. It's a good time. If you don't watch the show, come listen. We're having a good time. You might find something there.
Okay. AJ, thank you once again for being with us here tonight. And then Taran, what's going on? You cooking these days?
Yes, I did a cooking stream yesterday. It was very fun. You can check out the video of that over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Taran Armstrong. I also
you were using a stove, not bare heat, right?
Listen, you don't know what was inside the stove. You don't know what powers it.
True.
So check that out. I also dropped an Among Us video today on my YouTube channel. Probably my favorite one that I've made. You can see it's called An Epic Love Story in Among Us. You can see how Peridium of YouTube fame and I fell in love in Among Us. It's a beautiful story.
Wow.
So check out that video. Just come and hang out on Twitch as well. You don't need to play that
music from Taylor and Monty, do you?
It was good timing because yes, in fact, I do have some good music in that video to check out. So you can check that out. Of course, House of the Dragon coverage is happening as those episodes drop. Find me on Twitter at Armstrong Taran. I'll be tweeting out all these things that I'm doing.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us here live tonight for Eviction Night. We're in the home stretch here of Big Brother 24. It's been a wild ride so far. Let's see what happens in these next 9 days. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.